Good morning, dear students. Due to the unfortunate condition of pandemic COVID-19, we are unable to meet each other. But we should not waste your time. So to utilize your time, we'll continue with the classes. Now, I'm going to deliver the first lesson of class 10 political science, power sharing. But before the lesson, I wanted to talk to you. Dear students, now you are in 10th class. Next year, you are going to appear the public examination. Academically, this class is a continuation of class 9th. But this year, you have to be more serious. You have to show intimacy, regularity, and responsibility towards studies. If you are ready to accept the voice of the teachers, lessons from the teachers, instruction from the teachers, 100% I can assure you a good result. 100% you will bring laurel for the school as well as happiness for the family. Best of luck and best wishes. Now, the social science is of 80 marks. 20 marks from history, 20 marks from geography, 20 marks from economics, and 20 marks from political science. The question paper designed as 1 mark question, 3 mark questions, and 5 mark questions. And obviously 6 mark of maps. Maps will come from history and geography. Right? So dear students, from this chapter, we will learn the need of power sharing, the forms of power sharing, and how the democracy handle the demands for power sharing with the help of 2 case studies. 2 countries we are having in this chapter. One is Belgium, a European country. Another is Sri Lanka, the Asian country. In the NCERT textbook, they have given Belgium first, after that Sri Lanka. But I will teach you first Sri Lanka because that is our neighboring country. Right? Sri Lanka is an island nation. You all know what is the meaning of island. Island is a subcontinent land surrounded by water. And the Sri Lanka is situated few kilometers away from our southernmost coast of Tamil Nadu. तमिलनाडु के पास कुछ ही दूर आपका श्रीलंका सिचुएटेड है, दैट यू नो वेल. इन इंडियन ओशन, दैट ऑल्सो आपने मैप में देख चुका है ऑलरेडी. इंडियन ओशन में ये सिचुएटेड है. एंड द श्रीलंका स्पेशलिटी ऑफ दिस कंट्री इज देयर इज 2 डिफरेंट मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट ethnic groups. What is the meaning of ethnic? Ethnic means the social division with the shared culture. Different groups are there. One is Sinhalas and another is Tamils. Total population is near about 2 crore. Out of this, 74% people belongs to Sinhalese group. And they belongs to Buddhism. That means they are believing in Buddhism. And 18% is Tamils. They are also having 2 groups. One is the Sri Lankan Tamil, another is the Indian Tamil. Sri Lankan Tamils belongs to 13%, 5% Indian Tamils. Now you are having a doubt that what is the difference between the Sri Lankan Tamil and the Indian Tamils? Sri Lankan Tamils are considered as the natives of Sri Lanka. अब मैं आपको बोलने जा रहा हूँ, वो आपका बुक में है नहीं है. ये श्रीलंकन तमिल्स upper class people, like they are considering them as upper class people, whereas the Indian Tamils consider as the lower class. How did this difference occurs? Both are used as Tamil as the language. Both are believing in Hinduism and Islam. दोनों में believe करते हैं. And who were the Sri Lankan and the Indian Tamils? First of all, Indian Tamils बताता हूँ. Indian Tamils whose forefathers came from India during the colonial period for the plantation works. Understood? Sri Lankan Tamils whose forefathers came from India during the colonial period for the plantation work. British government का अंडर में था India and Sri Lanka. That time India and Sri Lanka was ruled over the Britain only. That time British, they established their supremacy in Sri Lanka. They wanted workers for the plantation field. So they brought this Indian Tamils, the poor Tamils, the lower class Tamils from India to Sri Lanka for the plantation field, and they settled there. Their descendants are there now now known as the Indian Tamils. And who were the Sri Lankan Tamils? They were considered as, I already told you, native Tamils of Sri Lanka. And ये जो Sri Lankan Tamils हैं, during the medieval period, the Chola, Chera, Pandyas kings, they ruled over the South India and they attacked Sri Lanka. That time, they controlled Sri Lanka and they established their supremacy in that country, and they what they have done, उनका ministers को वहां पर appoint कर दिया. They appointed the ministers for controlling each and everything, and their descendants are known as the Sri Lankan Tamils. That is why they are considered as the upper class, right? So ये दो groups है, आपका Tamilians में दो groups है. So 74% Sinhala, 18% Tamilian. Among this 13% आपका Indian Tamils, Sri Lankan Tamils, and 5% आपका Indian Tamils. Apart that, 7% Christians are there. These people, they used to speak both Sinhala and Tamil. 1% Moors are there. Moors are the Muslim inhabitants during the Middle Age. Right? That is not in the textbook. Just I have given the extra information. So this is the ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. 100% the question will come. Write a note on the ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. So you have to write like this, according to this. You have to give the introduction of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is an island nation. It's a few kilometers far from southernmost coast of Tamil Nadu. Having the two different ethnic composition. One is Sinhalese, another is Tamils. 74% is Sinhalas and 18% Tamils. Among this 18%, there are two subgroups also. One is that Indian Tamil, another is the Sri Lankan Tamil. Sri Lankan Tamil comprises 13%, whereas Indian Tamil 5%. And Sri Lankan Tamils are considered as the native Tamils of Sri Lanka, whereas the Indian Tamils whose forefathers came from India for the plantation work during the colonial period. Right? And this is the ethnic composition. Now, our next topic we are going to end, that is majoritarianism in Sri Lanka. What is the meaning of this majoritarianism? Majoritarianism means, this concept signifies the majority group, the country ka majority group. The majority group of country can do whatever they want. That means the majority group can rule the country in whichever way it wants. That is majoritarianism. Once again, majoritarianism is a belief in which the majority community of a country can rule in whichever way it wants. As you know that majoritarianism will come 100%, the entire benefit will go to the majority group. In Sri Lanka, which group is majority? Sri Lanka. Sinhalas. Sinhalas are the majority group. And that only happened. In 1948, Sri Lanka became independent. Like India became independent in 1947, Sri Lanka became independent in 1948. 1956, democratically elected Sri Lankan government passed an act, a law pass ho gaya. Act pass kar diya. That is majoritarianism. We can see the majoritarianism in that act. First, they have given the preferences for Sinhalese people for the university positions and the government jobs. They have given the preference in the jobs for only Sinhalese people. Suppose you are Tamilians, two candidates were for the job interview. Tamilian and the Sinhala. Tamilian, one Tamil person, he is getting 90 percentage. He scored secured 90 percentage, whereas a Sinhala person, he or she scored 85 percentage. They will call the Sinhala people. Why? Because they have given the chance for the Sinhalese people first. Second, they foster and protect. They promote and protect their own religion, that is Buddhism. They disregard the feelings of the Tamilians. And the third, they declare Tamil as the national language. Disregarding the feeling of the Tamilians, their language is Tamil, they forgot each and everything. So these were the majoritarian measures. They will ask a question in CBSE also. One question will be there. That is what were the majoritarian measures adopted by the Sri Lankan government? So you have to say Act passed in 1956. Simple वे में आपको आंसर पढ़ लेना, मन में लिख देना, फिर आपको एलाबरेट कर देना. आप एलाबरेट कर देंगे. आप ये बोलेंगे first they considered Sinhala as the official language, disregarding the feelings of Tamilians. Second, they have given the preference for the Sinhala candidates in the university positions as well as in the job opportunities. And the third, they promote and protect their own religion, that is Buddhism. And this creates a tension between these two groups. Tamilians felt alienation. When they socha ki yaar hum to alien hai. We are living in this country, born and brought up in this country, but we are feeling this alienation. But we felt alienation. We are not getting any chance. हमें तो कोई वजूद ही नहीं है, हमें कोई देख ही नहीं रहा है. ये फीलिंग उसका अंदर मन में आ गया है. एलियनेशन का रिजल्ट क्या है? These Tamilians, they formed associations. Different political associations and all formed कर दिया. And they demanded also. Many things demanded. So demanded, पूछेंगे what were the demands of the Sri Lankan Tamils? So बहुत easy है. Tamilians का demand पूछा तो जो आपका जो act पास हो गया ना, तो इसको opposite है. 100% एक्ट में पास क्या कर दिया था? एक्ट में पास ये किया था कि जो उनको लैंग्वेज सिंहाला लैंग्वेज को नेशनल लैंग्वेज डिक्लेयर कर दिया. तो तमिलियन ने बोला नो you have to consider our own language also as a national language. That means Tamil. Their demand was that Tamil should be declared as the national language. Second also, very easy. उनका जो एक्ट में ये कहा था कि प्रेफरेंसेस विल बी गिवन टू द सिंहला कैंडिडेट्स, वो बोला कि सो नो इक्वल पार्टिसिपेशन, प्रेफरेंस नो प्रेफरेंस एट ऑल, इक्वल पार्टिसिपेशन फॉर ऑल द कैंडिडेट्स वी ऑल्सो वांट. सो सेकंड डिमांड भी हो गया. थर्ड डिमांड बल्कि डिफरेंट है, टोटली डिफरेंट है. थर्ड डिमांड वाज दैट वी नीड ऑटोनॉमी. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ ऑटोनॉमी? Means our own rule. Actually, what happened? This Sri Lankan Tamils, they situated in the northeastern part of the country. Well, north and northeastern part of the country is the place where the Sri Lankan Tamils resided. So वो बोला कि उसी स्टेट को हमारा अपना बना दो. That is, they demanded Tamil Ilam. पूछेंगे what is the meaning of Ilam? Ilam means state. Tamil Ilam means Tamil state. Our own autonomy, हमारा अपना autonomy, हम रूल करेंगे. ये 3 डिमांड्स. बट द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ श्रीलंका डिनाइज, उसने इग्नोर ही कर दिया. बिकॉज उसका मन में यह है कि सी वी आर द मेजोरिटी, वी आर 74% एंड व्हाट यू विल डू, तुम क्या कर सकते हो? तुम नहीं कर कुछ नहीं कर सकते हो. आपको पता है इस तरह अगर आएगा तो क्या होगा? आपको पता है. एग्जाम्पल एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल मैं देता हूं. सपोज आई एम द क्लास टीचर ऑफ यू पीपल, राइट? And I appointed one person as the class monitor, as the cupboard monitor, as the each and every responsibility I am giving to that person. What will happen? And every time I am calling, so answer please come, so answer please come, like that I am calling and giving preference to that particular person. 100% you are having a jealous or a bad impact 100% that will create on in your mind towards that particular person. मुझे भी बोलेंगे सर तो बहुत उसको वो कर रहे हैं, उसको बोलेंगे हाँ सर का चमची आ गई या सर का चमचा आ गया, ऐसा बोलेंगे आप. सो समटाइम्स अगर आपको ये ओवरपावर करने के लिए कोशिश करेंगे तो दैट लीड टू कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. 100% क्लास में लड़ाई हो जाएंगे. टू अवॉइड दिस एज ए सिटीजन ऑफ डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री मैं क्या करता हूं, I always used to distribute the power among the students. One should be the cupboard monitor, one should be the class monitor, one should be the this आपका smart board in charge. Like that I am giving. And this power also will be changing. After 15 days, some other group will get all these responsibilities. There is no problem. But Sinhalas never did like this. They have given the preferences to their own candidates. They declared their language as the national language. They promote and protect their own religion. That is why, due to the alienation, these Tamilians, they formed associations and protests, etc. And they formed one more association that is known as the LTTE. Have you heard about LTTE? You must have. Because of LTTE, we lost our beloved Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. Right? LTTE. What is the full form of LTTE? That also you should learn. Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam. Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam. I think that is not in the textbook, but you have to know. You should understand. Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam is the full form of LTTE. They formed LTTE. And this led to धीरे धीरे छोटे छोटे कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो गया, बट दिस लेड टू द सिविल वॉर. एक न्यू वर्ड और मिल गया, सिविल वॉर. व्हाट इज सिविल वॉर? सिविल वॉर इज अ वॉर बिटवीन द टू ग्रुप्स विद इन द कंट्री. सिविल वॉर इज द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट और वॉर बिटवीन डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स विद इन द कंट्री. अपने कंट्री में डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स आपस में लड़ेगा ना, उसको हम सिविल वॉर कहते हैं. सो दिस लीड टू सिविल वॉर. सिंहलास एंड तमिलियंस का बीच में सिविल वॉर हो गया. आपको पता है तमिलियंस तो पॉपुलेशन बहुत कम है. उन्होंने क्या कर दिया, बॉम्ब लगाना शुरू कर दिया मार्केट में. इनोसेंट पीपल, नंबर ऑफ, मतलब इसका रिजल्ट पूछेंगे व्हाट वर द इम्पैक्ट ऑफ रिजल्ट ऑफ दिस सिविल वॉर. तब आप बोलेंगे सिविल वॉर के वजह से दोनों ग्रुप है, नंबर ऑफ पीपल डाइड इन बोथ द ग्रुप्स, मर्डर्ड, नंबर ऑफ पीपल मर्डर्ड, एंड मेनी पीपल लेफ्ट देयर होम्स, दे बिकम रेफ्यूज बन गया. And politically, economically, culturally, the country shattered. जब एक कंट्री में, अगर आपको पता है श्रीलंका बहुत अच्छा कंट्री था और बहुत सारा स्कोप था आपका क्या बोलेंगे टूरिज्म का. नंबर ऑफ पीपल दे यूज्ड टू कम फ्रॉम यूरोप एंड वेरियस कंट्रीज. सब कुछ खत्म हो गया बिकॉज ऑफ द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. कौन आएगा? कोई नहीं आएंगे. सो आप ये बोलेंगे बिकॉज ऑफ द सिविल वॉर, number of people murdered in both the groups, many people lost their livelihoods, they ran away from the country as refuge. Culturally, economically, politically, the country shattered. ये सब आप लिखेंगे, right? So dear students, here is the recapitulation of ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. Our chapter is power sharing. We will study about Belgium and Sri Lanka. I discussed about Sri Lanka first. Sri Lanka is an island nation. The meaning of island nation also I already told you. It is surrounded by water. There are two main ethnic groups. The meaning of ethnic also given. Social division with the shared culture. The two groups were the Sinhalese and the Tamilians. Total population ka 74% Sinhalese and 18% Tamils. And Sinhalese believe in Buddhism. Their language is Sinhala. Tamilians, of course, their language is Tamil, and they believe in both Hinduism and Islam. And Tamils also two groups: Sri Lankan Tamil and Indian Tamil. The difference between the Sri Lankan Tamil and Indian Tamil: the Sri Lankan Tamils are considered as the lower class, and they are considered as the upper class. They are considered as the natives of Sri Lanka. They comprises 13%. They concentrated in the north and northeastern part of the country. And Indian Tamils, whose forefathers came from India during the colonial period for the plantation works, right? And 7% Christians. They spoke Sinhala and Tamil. 1% Moors. They were the, we can say that they were the inhabitants of the Muslims during the Middle Age. Next is majoritarianism. What is the meaning of majoritarianism? Majoritarianism is the concept signifies the majority community, the belief of majority community that they can rule the country in whichever way it wants, right? And next one is the civil war. That also you have to learn. Civil war is war or conflict between two groups within the country. And what were the majoritarianism adopted by the Sinhala community or Sinhala government? In 1948, Sri Lanka became independent and democratically elected government. In 1956, they passed an act that is majoritarianism. That act will show the majoritarianism. In that, they have given the preference for the Sinhala community in job opportunities, especially in university positions and other job opportunities. They have given the preference for the Sinhala community. And second is that they have given the position of this official language as Sinhala. Sinhala को official language का जगह दिया है, means consider कर दिया है. Disregarding the feeling of the Tamilians because their language is Tamil, right? And the third one is that they promote and protect their own religion, that is Buddhism. That also disregarding the feelings of Tamilians, which those people are believing in both Hinduism as well as Islam. And this felt the alienation of Tamils. They believed that, they thought that if anyone will select as the minister, as the government or whatever it is, they will not get any preferences because majority community is from Sinhala only. So they felt the alienation and they started to form various type of political associations and all, political parties and all. And clearly the formation of LTTE, as I told you the full form of LTTE, that also you have to learn. Liberation of Tamil Tiger, Elam. Elam means stage. And next is what were the demands? They demanded something. They protest also. They formed organizations, political parties, and they protest against the majoritarianism. There they have shown their demands also. Puching what were the demands of the Tamils? Tamils, they lived in the concentrated in the north and northeastern part of the country, and they demanded the supremacy or the autonomy of the state. ये स्टेट का ऑटोनॉमी मांगा है, वहां पर वो रूल करेंगे. For that they demanded Tamil Elam. Elam means state. Tamil state मांगा है इस एरिया में. And second demand is that they also want equality in all the job positions. Like preferences should be eliminated and the equal opportunity for all. That were the demands. One more demand was that the Sinhala government should declare Tamil as the language, official language. You declared as Sinhala is the language, but we are also the inhabitants of this country, and from the century we are residing here. We are not from alien country, and we are the citizen of this country. So we are also wanting our language as the national language. So three demands. समझ में आ गया आपको? तीन डिमांड्स कौन कौन सी हैं जो इजी है, पढ़ने में बहुत इजी है. श्रीलंकन सिंहला कम्युनिटी का मेजोरिटी में जस्ट ऑपोजिट आपका डिमांड्स कह देना. अंडरस्टूड? एंड बट द मेजोरिटी पीपल दे डिनाइड ईच एंड एवरीथिंग. उन्हें टोटली डिनाई कर दिया, दे डिसरिगार्ड कर दिया. सो that led to the civil war in the country. Civil war, I told you what is civil war. Two groups आपस में लड़ाई करना शुरू कर दिया. As you know that they are 18% only. They started to different type of conditions originate in the country. As you know that this LTTE, ये अच्छी तरह से आपको पता है हमारा beloved Prime Minister राजीव गांधी का डेथ का एक रीजन बन गया था ये LTTE. एक story I will tell you afterwards. This community, they started bombing and also they placed bombs in busy market and also many places. and they killed so many political leaders also. So country totally पूछेंगे what were the result of this civil war? Country economically and culturally, politically shattered हो गया है. And आपको पता है कि श्रीलंका was an island nation and many countries, people of many countries, they travel to this place for their holidays and all, because it's an island country, it's very beautiful. They wanted to, tourism was totally developed. In such a way, the country's economy also totally shattered because nobody is ready to come. Understood? So civil war created a lot of problem, and also above all, number of people murdered in both the communities. Innocent people murdered in the Bauta community, from the Bauta community, right? And many people lost their livelihood. They left their country, become refuge. जैसे कि पाकिस्तान और इंडिया डिवाइड हो गया था, तो दोनों बॉर्डर से जो लोग भागा है, same cities. Tamilians they moved towards India, और कोई जगह उसको जाने के लिए नहीं है, तो refuge बन करके बहुत सारे लोग इंडिया में भी पहुंचे हैं. That create problem for us also. Isn't it? So इसका result है civil war का. Number of people they become refuge. They lost their livelihood. Many people murdered in both the groups. Above all, economically, politically, culturally, the country shattered. This was the condition of Sri Lanka. That means we can say that power did not share. These people, इसका बाद में बता देंगे, इसको पावर शेयर ना करने से आपको इतना समझ में आ गया. यहाँ पर सिंहला पीपल अपना सुप्रीमेसी दिखाया, किसी और को पावर को शेयर नहीं किया. They demanded this नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न पार्ट का इलम स्टेट को रूल करने का टाइम मांगा, मतलब डिमांड किया है, उसको डिमांड को पूरा नहीं किया है, उसी वजह से ये सब कुछ हो गया. Isn't it? So आपको पता है कि एग्जाम्पल आपको भी मैंने ऑलरेडी दे रखा है, क्लास का एग्जाम्पल दे दिया. ठीक है, same as it is conflicts. Now we will move into the next session, the next group, that is Belgium. So dear students, you must have read the topic from the textbook, and now this time is for assessment. I just wanted to give some question to you. You may please write it down in your copy and make the answers also from the textbook only. It is my humble request to refer the NCERT textbook for the answers. Not follow any refreshers and all. NCERT is enough. First is define the following: civil war, ethnic, majoritarianism. Second question, describe the ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. Third question, what was the reason of the civil war in Sri Lanka? What was its impact on the country? Third, what were the majoritarian measures adopted by the Sri Lankan government for their supremacy? Next question, what were the demands of Sri Lankan Tamils? Next one, what is Tamil Elam? Apart that, if you are ready to understand the concept from the textbook and from my lecture, really, if any type of question will come from this topic, you are able to give the answers. Thank you. Wait for the next topic.